I welcome all the panelists and I hand over the session to Hanif Qureshi, sir, for the first talk.
Very good morning to all respected seniors and dear colleagues. So my session is about mental health and stress, especially the role of positive psychology in it. When we hear mental stress, mental health and stress, everybody of us has an opinion on that. And we all have through our experiences, we know that what reduces stress. But here I am going to highlight some of the research findings. First, little bit we will talk about stress and then what specifically positive psychology can do in this area. So, of course, this is the definition of stress, and there is a small amount of stress is always considered good for work. It's called eustress. It provides energy and motivation to function effectively, but too much of stress or bad stress, that is linked to low performance. So many studies have been conducted on stress, and one study, Nimhans, so a lot of these studies will find that stress is high. So we already know that in police is one of the most stressful occupations. Stress is definitely high. Then what are the antecedents of stress? Why stress is caused? So there are also a large number of antecedents are there. I have just listed a few studies. So I have compiled through large number of studies what are the causes. So causes are divided into three categories: individual, social and organizational. So some stresses are due to our nature of police work, critical incidents happening, calls for service. That's the nature of work. The second category of stressors is social, which arises through ineffective communication with our friends and family, not having proper emotional intelligence, not able to understand our own and others' feelings, and then organizational. So here the individual cannot do anything. If the organization has some policies like role ambiguity, I do not know what I'm supposed to do, role overload, too much of work, lack of organizational support. We all know what strict hierarchy the police department follows, poor supervisor support, poor training, lack of promotion. So these are organizational factors. So when we come to what can be done about it, so certainly we have to attack this at all these levels. Then the effects of stress, they are well known: aggression, job burnout, absenteeism, and even premature death. So what are the interventions? This is, I've listed some of the interventions which are already there in the literature. So generally it is believed that counseling is a very good thing for stress. But research has shown that counseling doesn't have much significant changes in the general health. Simply counseling does not help. You have to remove the stress causing factors. That is so training in psychological techniques, that is good. How stress happens? So there are some techniques, I'll discuss one or two. Physical activity is always good. And then training and environmental workplace changes. So changes in the environment. So these are at the organizational level. So we'll talk about that. So at the individual level, what can be done? First is being self-aware. How stress is caused? Am I in stress? How much stress? Then training in stress management. There are a lot of techniques which are available, proven techniques. So some of them we can learn and use them. So for this, I have proposed that design of modules, courses, especially for police officers. So online courses can be there, offline courses are there, which will tell about these techniques. Once done, then they will show results. Then at the organizational level, what can be done? Some things can be done at the police station level, some at the district level. Not only training, but operations, which means that whatever work police is doing, how stress management techniques can be integrated into that work. There is no need of a special stress relieving session, but it can be integrated into the work. Then at the state level, organizational factors, we have talked about these factors earlier: role ambiguity, organizational justice. Justice is like procedural justice and distributive justice. So promotions, transfers, departmental inquiries, whether justice is happening there or not. So there the organization has to do, individual cannot do. Then work-family conflict. At the national level, MHA has listed the steps it has taken at the national level. So let me come to these. So policies relating to transfer and leave of CAPFs, ensuring adequate rest, weekly rest is now introduced in most of the states, regulating duty hours, living condition for troops. These steps were listed by MHA in February 2021, that what steps have been taken, because stress has been a theme in previous many All India Police Science Congresses. So retention of government accommodation in Northeast, J&K, left-wing extremism, better medical facilities, facilities for troops in difficult areas, then welfare measures, air travel, regular promotions, financial benefits. So I have listed these just to show that since MHA is dealing at the national level, the states can do the same thing at the state level. Whether these things have been done or not, these are the bare minimum which organization must do. So, just one or two slides about stress. So there is an acute stress and chronic stress. Acute stress is a short-term stress which you get, which goes away quickly. It can be due to, say, you apply brakes on your vehicle, have a fight with your friend or partner. That suddenly comes. Once it is over, it goes away. It's a good stress because it helps manage us that situation. That is sometimes good. But chronic stress is that remains for a long period of time. So if you have money problems for a long time, unhappy marriage, bad relationships at work or home, which are continuing for months together, so that is a chronic stress. That is the real problem. Now, what happens during stress? This is the limbic system, the colored part inside this. Limbic system basically deals with our emotional responses. It has two major parts, hippocampus and amygdala. Hippocampus is the seat of the long-term memory. And amygdala is the part which is the green color, two kidney-shaped bean-sized structures. Those are the two amygdalas in our brain. They play a central role in our emotional responses. So the fear and anxiety, that is regulated by amygdala. So whenever we see the external situation through our senses, all that is coming through the amygdala, and that's how we tailor our responses. It judges the situation and accordingly produces the response. And what is the response? We have a parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system. In normal stage, the parasympathetic nervous system is operating. That is the normal what happens. Rest and digest. So body is relaxed. It pays attention to digestion, long-term repair of tissues. So that's what normally it happens. And parasympathetic, you can see the constrict pupils. So you can see at a very far away distance, stimulated saliva, slow heartbeat. When you are like sleeping, your heartbeat goes down. Airways are constricted, you don't need much energy because you are in a relaxed state. You don't have to run or do anything. Then activity of stomach is stimulated, good digestion. It pays attention to that. So these are the physical changes. Now when there is a threat, when there is a sudden provocation, then this sympathetic nervous system is activated. So the fight or flight response is activated there. So either we face the threat or we try to run away because we have to negotiate with that. And then what happens? Dilated pupils, eyes are wide because we want to see the immediate threat. Then no salivation, heartbeat increases because a lot of blood is needed by the body to fight that. So heartbeat increases. Airways are relaxed, lot of air has to come into the body to give the energy to fight. So no digestion inhibits the activity of the stomach because digestion is long term. Deal with the sher samne aa gaya. So something has to be done there. So that sympathetic nervous system is activated. Now in chronic stress, sympathetic nervous system is always activated. there is no time for rest and digest. So that leads to health problems and that leads to mental problems. So this I am just highlighting just to say that whenever a stress management course is designed, participants must understand that there are bodily changes and this is a emotional response coming from our amygdalas. That is how it is happening and something has to be done about it. You must realize the need for it. As a macho बनने की ज़रूरत नहीं है that oh nothing happens to me, I am a police officer. But actually changes happen in the body. So this is just one approach I am suggesting. It is called a Nali approach. So it has got 3 steps. First is notice, related to emotional intelligence. So we must know that we are in stress. These physical changes have happened to us. So how to notice? So it is said that the drivers of race cars, because they don't look at their meters and instruments, they can feel with their body that what's happening in the car and they can just stop and say, okay, this is the mechanic and repair it. So we have to train our bodies to realize that now my heartbeat is going up, now salivation is this happening. So how to notice? First thing is to notice, then relaxing. So how to relax? So there are many ways to relax. You can do yoga, you can do a lot of stress relaxation techniques are available. Then relaxation. The third, which is the icing on the cake, is listen. So active listening, when you listen to other people and try to understand their viewpoint, you are helping not only the other person, his gas is letting out, but that helps in your own emotional management. So part of the brain which listens to others is actually you are helping yourself. So active listening is a better form of relaxation than simply doing relaxation on your body. So this is a technique. Professor Steve Jordan in University of Toronto has used this on large number of samples. It has given very good results. So this can be used. So I now want to come to positive psychology. Now, one thing is stress management, how to remove the stress. Other thing is how to be contented and happy. So these are two different things. Positive psychology looks at what contributes to happiness, what are the health effects of positive emotions, what habits actions can build personal resilience. So instead of fighting your stress, if we try to increase our positive emotions, cognitions, behaviors, that automatically reduces stress. That is the focus of positive psychology. So Professor Martin Seligman, who is the father of positive psychology, he has given this PERMA model: positive emotions, engagement, relationship, meaning, accomplishment. So I'll just briefly talk about them. In this model, what we have done, we go to the next one. Yeah. So I'm just going to talk about how positive psychology can be modified to positive policing, how their techniques can be used in policing. And we have formed this, the arm of hope. Arm is the accomplishments, relationships, meaning, and hope is health, optimism, positive emotions, and engagement. Now, out of positive psychology emerged positive psychology interventions, or PPIs. If you Google PPIs, you will find a lot of PPIs online. A lot of interventions based on positive psychology. So the ones which I am going to talk about briefly are the writing exercises. Writing therapy has been a very effective tool to reduce stress and improve well-being. Writing can have a healing effect. Number of research studies have shown. In one research study where participants wrote about their traumatic experiences 15 minutes a day for 4 days, they experienced better health. Writing also improves the immune system. That also studies have shown. Regular writing also helps writers find meaning in their lives. So number of benefits of writing are there. Some of these PPIs I have modified to use with the police employees, and they involve writing experiences in a journal every day. So let me talk about the first one, which is accomplishment. Accomplishments, accomplishment is a pursuit of success and mastery. Is a very specialized work where expert knowledge of several domains is required. When a person feels that he has done some achievement and he has accomplished something, there is a release of the good hormones. So, if a police officer, as an individual, he has accomplished some tasks, and then he can write about that task in a journal or a diary. So, simply writing about what he has, good task he has done, that is the PPI based on accomplishments. So, just reliving your accomplishments. That's one intervention. The second intervention is based on relationships. Man is a social animal, and a lot of our happiness derives from relationships. And in the police, this is more true than ordinary humans because our customers are the citizens. Once we are able to make them happy, that happiness transfers to us. So if a police officer remembers something in that day when he has had a positive experience with someone, he has helped a citizen, or he has helped a junior, or his senior has helped him within the department or outside the department, and he writes and describes how he felt when that happened. So basically he is reliving that memory, and brain remembers something good. So that's the PPI based on a relationship. Then PPI based on meaning. Meaning is when you find your task, it is something more than yourself. That is meaning. When you place your work in a context, that is meaning. So, if a police officer has done some task during the day where he feels that not only I have helped this individual, I have helped my state, I have helped my country, and I am doing something big, if he experiences that and writes about that, so that makes him feel that, either positive emotions come over there. And then other is based on health, then health that we all understand, exercise, good food, that is one part. Then optimism. Lot of PPIs are based on optimism. One of the PPIs is that you imagine a perfect life. Whatever you want to achieve, whatever you want to do, wherever you want to live, just imagine and write about it. A paragraph or a page or 2 pages. There is no limit on the writing. How much ever you want to write in any language, not to be shown to anyone, just for your own self. Once this optimism exercise is done, then there are tremendous health benefits. Positive emotions. So, in the earlier slide, I skipped over. If you look at values in action, there are about 64 positive emotions. I have just taken out the 10 most frequent ones: joy, gratitude, serenity, interest, hope, pride, amusement, inspiration, awe, and love. So basically, these worldwide surveys have been done, and these are the emotions which everybody wants across cultures, across languages, across nations. These are the most commonly emotions which people try to achieve. So there are some exercises to enhance positive emotions. If you have experienced one of these emotions during the day, and then you write about it, what was that experience? Why it happened? What were the changes in you when you were experiencing it? Writing about that. That's the PPI based on positive emotion. And then engagement. Engagement is the most beautiful of all. Engagement is when you have a passion for work and you are completely absorbed in it. If you like to listen to sitar or like to play sitar, and you are playing sitar for hours and hours because you are so involved in playing the sitar that hours have gone away. That is a state of flow. So the state of flow is when you have lost the track of time and you are completely immersed in that experience. That's engagement. So that is the engagement. Engagement is good for students, good for employees, and very good for police officers. if police officers can be engaged in their work, they find meaning in their work, that itself will provide a lot of satisfaction to them. That's the PPI based on engagement. So I've listed some of the benefits of positive psychology interventions. Improved performance. See, policemen perform with very little supervision. In the field, there is no supervision. Whatever a police officer wants, he can do. Once armed with PPI tools, performance goes up. Need for supervision goes down. Better engagement. We have talked about engagement. Enhanced productivity. Lower depression and anxiety. This is only one of the positive side effects, reducing stress. But the gain of the others is very important. Positive emotions and creativity. Police officers need a lot of creativity. New situations every time. New solutions have to be found. So the creative juices of the mind flow when you are in a state of stress-free state. Integrity and courage. These are the desirable qualities in a police officer. Research has shown positive emotions such as courage, empathy, and honesty, they were predictive of integrity. Corruption. So there also it is a positive effect on this. So I have given some references where a lot of what I have talked about, these are listed. If you want, you can go through them. So that is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.